I got up at the crack of dawn and drove to Larry's place to pick him up. We were going hiking along our favorite trail. It was a sunny day, but not too hot, a perfect day for hiking. Larry and I walked along the rugged path leading into the woods, chatting off as the mood struck us. The path narrowed a bit as we neared the creek. I surged out in front, listening with enjoyment to the sound of the water flowing in the creek and the chirping of birds overhead. But a strange, rotten smell drifted through the air. I wrinkled my nose as I rounded the bend and then stopped dead in my tracks. Standing beside the water of the creek was a huge, ape-like figure with a hairy body, long arms, and a flat brown face. Its eyes were round and dark, and its ears were small and its nose was flat. "Holy shit," I gasped out loud. Then Larry came up from behind, nearly knocking me over, and the creature shot off into the woods. "Hey man, watch it. Why'd you stop like that?" I said, "I just saw a goddamn Bigfoot." And he said, "What?" "I just saw a Bigfoot." Now, of course, Larry was skeptical about my sighting, to say the least, so I walked over to the place where the Sasquatch had been standing and pointed at the ground. A set of 16-inch footprints led off toward the trees. The strides were a good 4 feet in length, and the footprints were deep enough to be those of a creature weighing several hundred pounds. Larry crouched beside the footprints, studying them intently. I kept my eyes on the woods where the Sasquatch had disappeared. Sometimes I read they lingered in an area, watching humans with a lot of interest as we watched them. Then he jumped up and followed the footprints into the woods. I started in after him in amazement. Only an utter fool would follow such a large creature right into his own territory. And that's what we did. I trailed after him slowly, though, ready to run away at any sign of trouble. And as I did, I caught another whiff of that shit-smelling garbage. Larry called back to me, saying that the ground there was too hard for any clear prints, but it looked like it went into those bushes. And then he parted the bushes and came face to face with the Bigfoot. He let out a yell which echoed by an equally startled howl of surprise by the Sasquatch, and he took off like a rocket, heading back towards the car. The Bigfoot ran away in the opposite direction. I stood stock still, staring bemusedly first at the fleeing Sasquatch and then my friend running. At his present rate of speed, I estimated that Larry would make it back to the car in maybe an hour. I looked back at the Sasquatch and saw it jump over the creek in one leap and disappear into the trees, and then that rotten smell faded away. I shrugged my shoulders philosophically and started back down the trail towards the car, wondering if my very first Sasquatch sighting would be my last. As I got nearer to the car, I saw Larry sitting in the front, drinking his way steadily through a six-pack. I laughed to myself. The next time I told old Larry that I'd seen a Sasquatch, he wouldn't be so skeptical. Then again, knowing Larry, I wasn't so sure. Nowadays, I kind of chuckle at the memory of Larry and the Sasquatch fleeing from each other. And even though it's an amusing memory, the truth is, we were both lucky that day.